Dear Elijah and Elena, Tim Tebow has me thinking. This is the Operation Fatherhood channel. Again, trying to build intentional fathers and the next generation. Let's get into this topic. Again, Tim Tebow or his possible NFL return has me thinking. Now, let me start off by saying I'm not a NFL or football person. I used to be, but I kind of changed my thoughts on the sport. I felt kind of being like a hypocrite. Like I probably wouldn't let my son play football, so it seemed kind of hypocritical of me to still watch a sport that I wouldn't even let my child play. So that's kind of the reason why I'm not big on football. But recently, you might have heard that Tim Tebow, I don't know the full story, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but he possibly may be able to finally get into the NFL again, playing for, I think, his old college coach. So, that being said, when it came out, apparently there were a lot of people who had issues with it. Now, I'm not going to go into all that. This is not really a political channel, and I do try to touch on cultural stuff from time to time. But anyway, I'm not going to deal too much with the political, or not the political, but the kind of social justice aspect of it, right? So a lot of people, or some people apparently were upset because of the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. Kaepernick, you can go to other channels about dealing with all that. My thing is sometimes people automatically make things out to be a racial thing. And the thing I want, Elena and Elijah, when you all watch this one day, I want you all to think about, I've done a video before where I've said, try not to compare your success with others' success. And I'm going to say that when it comes to your journey. Try not to compare your journey with someone else's journey. I was kind of looking at a story, I think it was an article, maybe based off of a tweet of another football player who was basically saying how he had worked his behind off to get in the league, and I think he had bounced around a few different teams, and then after bouncing around to a few different teams, he went to I think, well, he might not even be playing at the moment, and so he's basically saying how hard it is to get in the league and stuff like that. And here, this person is referring to Tim Tebow, getting into the league now, after years of not playing, not any football. I can't remember how many years Tim Tebow has not been playing. And he's going to possibly be in a position, I think it's tight end. And he was originally a quarterback when he was, I think, originally going into the league. But I think before he even left the league, I think he played like a tight end position or a position for another team anyway. But anyway, that goes without saying. And so anyway, the person was basically trying to point out, well, why is he basically getting this job if there are other people, I guess, more qualified, things of that nature. And, a couple of different things. One, like I said before, don't compare your journey, or try not to compare your journey with someone else's journey and try to make it a racial thing. There are times, and there will be times in your life that your journey may look, maybe you use the word oddly or eerily similar to someone else's. Maybe you came into a certain job a similar way. Maybe you have a similar skill set. Maybe you have similar degrees if it's a job, or if it's a sport. Maybe you have similar athletic attributes or what have you, right? But you don't know who they know, and they don't know who you know. It is quite possible, okay? This is why I've also made a video before when it comes to, getting a job, making a good impression, right? So the fact that Tim Tebow is possibly getting a job with a former coach says a lot about his relationship with that coach. He made some type of impact, even if it was a decade ago, even if it was 15 years ago, he made some kind of impact on that coach and to think that he may be worth putting on his team now. And another thing to think about, if Tim Tebow is still able to have an elite athleticism, an elite workout, where he's able to really show that he can still move. Football, I don't know a lot about football, but I knew a lot about it more than 20 years ago when I was trying to be a football player. If he can still run fast, if he can still read, quote unquote routes, if you know a little bit about American football, if he can still catch the ball, if he can still do assignments, if he can still do what he needs to do to be in that league and to compete at a high level, then let him do what he does. Let him be successful. Don't worry about what he's doing. Whatever you need to do to get back in the league, you figure that out. And sometimes what needs to happen is a person has to go, and maybe you ask different coaches. Maybe I think I was listening to Mike Vick on a show, basically pointing out that he knows that he has some coaches that would probably give him a chance if he wanted to go back out again. And I imagine because he had a good relationship with them and he left them on good terms. And that's why I've said before about, in another video, when it comes to getting a job, show that work ethic, do the best you can. And you'll probably see a few people walking around my car in a minute. Do the best you can. Stay on top of well, basically just show that work ethic. Show that you're good at what you're doing. And so if you leave, hopefully it'll be on a good note and you can have that person as a reference. Or, as I said before in another video, you might leave a job and they might say, hey, if you ever want to come back, we'll be glad to have you. That's what it's all about, right? So that's kind of the same thing with Tim Tebow, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is that in his journey, he's always wanted to be an athlete. So it seems, because I think he tried baseball for a while, and I guess it didn't pan out. But that happens. Michael Jordan tried out baseball years after not playing the sport or not being going professional, and he tried baseball for a minute. Didn't work as well, so he went back to basketball. And we all know Michael Jordan is. Now, I'm not saying Michael Jordan is Tim Tebow, because again, you have to be careful comparing journeys. One person's journey is not another person's journey. One person's life is not another person's life. Sometimes there are certain decisions that one of us may make, another person may not make, and that also can have an impact on their journey. Life, that's the thing about life. Life is it can have tough times. It can be ups and downs in it. But that's the thing about life. It's about decisions. And when it comes to those decisions, you have to be able to, and you may hear somebody talking in a moment too again. That's the thing about life, is about decision making. Okay, it's about those decisions. You have to be, hopefully you make more good decisions than bad. Okay, but when you make good decisions and you do a lot of good things in a row, you make good contacts, you make good connects, you work on, keeping yourself in tip-top shape or at the top of the line of whatever career you're trying to go to, good things hopefully can happen for you. Okay, it may not be the way that it happens for other people, but don't compare your success with somebody else's success. Don't compare your journey with someone else's journey. Okay. And sometimes you never know how that person's journey may even inspire you, right? So you're wanting to be in the same position they have, okay? And that happens. Sometimes we do want what others have in some degree. But you have to work in a way to get that position, or possibly that kind of position. But at the same time, don't let it grow in your heart and your mind and your spirit where you're like, I can't believe that, this person gets to have something that I don't get to have. Don't envy, just don't be jealous of someone else. Try to figure out what you can do to get to that level. And again, don't compare your journey with someone else. I keep repeating it because I want you to get this. I want you to get it. I want you to get that. Like I said before, sometimes it's not a racial thing. Sometimes it's not a socioeconomic thing. Sometimes it's not even where you live or who you know. Sometimes it's you. You have to be the one to make certain decisions. You have to be the one to figure it out. And sometimes you have to accept and realize that, hey, if I keep trying to go for this thing and it's not working out, maybe I need to do something different. Okay? So again, your journey is your journey. Okay? Hopefully Tim Tebow goes off and does his thing. Hopefully other athletes, if that's what you want to do, hopefully it works out for you. Customer service representative, whatever. Whatever you're trying to do, go do you, as they say. Okay? But stop focusing so much on other folks that you forget that your journey is made up based on you alone. Something to think about.